Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is Queen's Table and it's a Thursday night and we have got this amazing woman here. Hello, Darcy. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Thank you for having me.
That's no problem at all. It's lovely to see your face again. And I tell you, it's making me more excited because what is all the hype at the moment? The tickets have gone on sale for the final that you're in, because you're, of course, Mrs Nottinghamshire Galaxy. So how are you feeling today? It's getting exciting now, isn't it?
Oh, the emails are coming in. We've had the ticket email, we've had the email about the Thursday training day. So yeah, it's making it feel so real now, isn't it? It's all coming home.
It certainly is. And if anyone is watching, obviously, if you want to ask Darcy any questions at all, please pop them in the comment box there and I will ask her. But yeah, so we'll get on with the little chat here. I mean, it is getting very exciting. It seems very real now. And of course, I must ask you, why did you choose the Galaxy system?
Well, to be honest, pageants are brand new to me. It is a brand new environment, and I can remember I was on Instagram, so I'm on social media, and I'm flicking through, and the winners from last year's Galaxy was on there. So with the big group picture came up on my For You page, and I can remember looking at them and thinking, "Oh my God, these women are beautiful." And then so I was being a bit nosy, so I actually went onto the Instagram and reviewed it. And I was just scrolling, and I was absolutely mesmerized by these women, and then how beautiful they were, how confident, independent. It just took me away a bit. So I was just like, how do I get involved with this? And I guess the relationship with Galaxy just blossomed from there.
Oh, how exciting. So how did you apply? What was your sort of first move of it?
So I was a bit do I don't I. So when I was looking through the Instagram, I seen that there were bikini pictures, and I was like, oh God, I'd love to be that confident. I'd love to be that girl posing like that, and having that sass and that attitude. And I I looked at the email, and I saw the email for that, and also for UK's National Miss. And I was like, wow, do I, don't I? And I just bit the bullet and went for it. And I can remember it was in Christmas 19, so just after the finals. I think at that point social media were rife with excitement. So like pageant weekend had just gone. And I just thought, you know, I'm going to do it. What, I've got nothing to lose, and if anything, it's just going to give me loads of confidence, which I never thought it would. But yeah, I'm so grateful that I did take the leap.
Oh, yeah, me too, because it's been fabulous for me because we're actually going to be spending the day together, as you know. And it's great. I mean, one thing about it, though, I must admit, I mean, it is your first pageant. I mean, how do you feel like it being your first pageant? I mean, there's just so much good from it, isn't there? So, how do you feel about it being your first one?
Um, it's a very strange one, isn't it? But I've never, when we were at Crown Camp, I think I said something really similar to yourself. I've never ever been in a situation before where it's a group of women which are very like-minded. So we're all there because we want to be the difference and make a difference. So I think with it being a first pageant, regardless of who I'm around or the people I surround myself with, if they've done it for 5 years like yourself, or if it's the first time starting like me, there is that like-minded consistency. So going in fresh, it feels completely normal because everyone around you welcomes you so much that it makes the experience normal for you.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And everyone's so welcoming, aren't they? And everyone's just
Definitely.
there, and it doesn't matter if you've been doing it just starting or whether you've been doing it 20 years. Everyone just really is just there for each other. And you are just like-minded women, aren't you? It's
Hmm.
fabulous. So, when we've spoken before, I mean, you have got an incredible, very touching
Thank
platform.
you.
Yeah, it's very, very heart melting and very, very important platform.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, of course. So my platform is eating disorder awareness. And my little specialist is something which is dear to myself, which is infertility in women via eating disorder awareness. Well, eating disorder, sorry. And I'm quite open about it. So if you do follow me on any of my socials, I will post stories, or in the moment, if I feel like I need to discuss something, I'll say it. And I have, well, I'm in recovery at the moment, but I've suffered for the best part of 10 years with multiple different eating disorders, so bulimia nervosa, anorexia, body dysmorphia, and binge eating disorder. And it breaks my heart, the amount of awareness that there isn't there, the amount of awareness that's lacking in help, what's lacking for young girls, young boys, and adults what are going through something which maybe A, haven't been diagnosed, or B, doesn't really understand what's happening to the body. There's a big difference, I believe, with eating disorders and disordered eating, but it's very rare that an individual is diagnosed and treated for said condition.
Yeah, that's it. It's a very important platform. I mean, what sort of what's your aim? You know, what are you helping to achieve? Sort of spreading awareness of these eating disorders.
I think there's an eating disorder is not a condition which is treatable overnight, and I accept that. From my own journey, I accept that. And rather than thinking I'm going to go out there and cure people, I just want to be the helpful change. So I get girls in my messages saying thank you, and how I imagine we'll discuss the show, but how my little posts and my lives are just helping them get through their day to day. My overall goal coming out of Galaxy, so if I take the crown home or not, my biggest goal for the next 2 to 3 years is to get body confidence awareness trained out in secondary schools as part of sex education. I think it is so important to normalise bodies and scars and acne and stretch marks, and being hungry and eating more than your mum or your dad or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife, and being allowed to just embrace the natural, authentic you. I feel like we cloud away a lot in education at the moment, especially with the influx of social media, and we just turning a blind eye to TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and just telling, if it's upsetting you, step away from it, but that's fine. It's the mentally damaging side of trying to keep up with social standards, which isn't realistic or isn't ideal for anyone, regardless of age, sex, gender. So yeah, I'm big on wanting to make that difference. So girls what go through secondary school like me during the Instagram boom know that you don't need to go and get lip filler or go and have any cosmetic surgery, because being you is what's most important.
Yeah, that is so true. I mean, it was a little bit different back when I was younger. I got brought up in the sort of size zero era.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if you remember the program Friends, for instance, and all the cast. It was very fashionable to be a size zero. Now,
yeah,
like someone like myself, you know, in my sort of late teens or something like that, I'm built. I could never be a size zero. That just isn't
yeah.
realistic for me. But even as a child myself, I felt very pressured into fitting into that sort of norm.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think, like, you know, TV, social media can be so damaging to people?
I think the issue is that with the 90s, so like you said, in the 90s we had Kate Moss with her quotes about nothing will ever taste as nice as what skinny feels, and you had your big couture designers just pushing for slim, petite, not even petite, slim, tall, structured women, and not it was very impossible to fit in that bracket. That's why it's a model size, because it's an extremely small proportion of the population which are able to fit into that bracket. And I feel like with the boom of technology and how vastly available it is to people, it's so damaging. And the issue is now is that even I'm quite lucky because I left school just as it was flourishing, and I know the effect that it had on myself, but we've got. I think once Kylie Jenner released the fact that she actually does have lip injections, it went up by something stupid like 580%. 580%
Wow.
increase in face injections. And don't get me wrong, each their own. Girl, if you want to go and get work done, you treat yourself, you go out there, whatever's your vibe. But it's not necessary. And it
Yeah.
just breaks my heart, the idea that such as myself was so hidden by the idea of this is what you've got to look like in order to be deemed attractive, or you having big lips and big eyes and a snatch nose will get you 50 more likes on Instagram is never the case. It's never the case anymore. The fact that Victoria's Secret runway gone. It's now time to accept more.
Yeah, that's it, because things have evolved quite a bit lately. They've evolved, so I think some ways in a bad way and a good way. So say you see a lot more sort of plus size models, you see models of all different shapes and sizes, like, you know, slim, plus size, all sorts, models with disabilities, whichever. There's a lot more that's, you know, available now, which is great. But then on the flip side, you have still got that sort of maybe negative from the social media that can be very damaging. But I really admire the fact that you want to get this out into primary schools, because mums like myself, I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I want to just, you know, make sure, you know, I mean, children of that age, anyone's children, know that they are just beautiful as they are, because it is worrying if they are sort of going through their sort of teens and they're going through these changes anyway, and their hormones are all like this. They just need to know that they are beautiful as they are. So your platform is very important and a very, very strong platform. And I really, really like it. Means so much to you. You can tell it's from the heart because you've been through all this yourself. So I really do think that's incredible.
Thank you.
You're doing a weekly live alongside your platform on a Wednesday. Is that correct?
Yes.
Could you tell me about this? Because it is fabulous.
So I am a creature of habit. So when it comes to meals, because I've suffered for so long with my disorders, when I got taught tricks by eating disorder therapists and doctors and nurses, I used to use them to my own advantage. So one of the good eating disorder like help mechanisms is that give yourself a pattern so you know what's coming and you're not scared of it. And from doing that, I sort of ate into my insecurities, which I hated. And because of that, I would have the same meal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I put myself into this little bracket what felt comfortable, but that meant that I would never experience anything wider than that. So I came up with the idea, me and my husband, that we was going to try different things, like once a week. Tried something different. If it's a new vegetable or if it is a different spice, we'll just try something new. And then once I started gaining some momentum on social media with my pageant page, and I started having girls message me, it made me aware that it's a common struggle for people what have disordered eating or actual eating disorders, that they are stuck in this bracket of repetition because they're so scared to break out from anything else. And it is a real struggle, especially with people that have anorexia. So my idea was that every Wednesday at 6, have a new girl come on, or have anyone come on. I don't mind who it is. I'll have my husband one week and bring this person on and get them to teach me what their signature dish is. And it's so informal. I rock up from work, no makeup, probably like a greasy T-zone, hair scraped back, and I'll be there cooking potatoes with some sort of egg what I've never made before. And it gives me the opportunity to know that A, I'm trying something new, B, I'm getting to chat to someone else and learning something new, and C, that at the end of this 30-minute cooking I have a meal to eat, which normally I wouldn't do. Another eating disorder thing, little and often, just nibble. But once I'm comfortable and once I'm confident in the environment, and it'll be the same for you, once you leave this chat, you'll have such a buzz and such an adrenaline that something positive's just happened, that I'm happily to go and sit down and like eat my dinner whilst uploading the video and speaking to my husband about what's new and what we've tried. So it came to me that just 30 minutes, quick meal, whilst having a chat, will make such a difference to so many people.
I just think that's such an incredible idea. And it sounds like, oh, first of all, as well, congratulations on your recent marriage, because you got married. But your husband just sounds so supportive of this, which is incredible, isn't it? But just the way that you can have a lovely catch up with, you know, pageant girl or whoever, your husband or family member or friend, and then you've got a meal to eat at the end. That is really making a big difference. I mean, I would love to do that, but I cannot cook at all. But I will try it for you. But I'd be quite worried you probably wouldn't like the end dish. I can do a chili con carne.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I'll try it. I will try it, and then I can do that for you. So, but no, that's incredible, and I think it's going to help other people. It really is going to make that change, just because you're just so open, and this platform is really strong. It means so much to you, so you are going to make that
Thank
change,
you.
which is just incredible. So, do you feel like since you've been doing pageants that it has given you more confidence?
It's such a weird thing to say, but pageants have done for me what 10 years therapy couldn't, and that's so true. So I, at the moment, weigh the most I've weighed since I'm about 14, I'd like to say. I know, and it's crazy because at school, my eating disorder comes from comfort eating, and I've recently opened up on a couple of my pictures about it, but I grew up in a mining town. I'm still here. I've got 6 siblings. I lost my dad really, really young, and my sister, what's the closest age to me, is severely disabled. So throughout school, I would just binge and binge and binge. So I got to just a big chunky size, what matched my bone structure really. The doctors were never concerned. And then when it was going through school, and it's an awkward age anyway, 13, 14, when I was going through school and I was starting to have my puppy fat or like building my size, I got terrorized for it, and that my confidence was knocked at such an early age, and I had so much, I guess, trauma and past things bottled up inside of me like a little genie, that I just sought comfort in sweet food. And I've spoke to therapists, dietitianists, nutritionists, doctors, nurses, being in A&E, being in clinics, being in my eating disorder awareness groups, and every trick or every mechanism they've taught me has never resided. But I don't know, but Galaxy has made the difference. I think it's the idea that being part of Galaxy, you are a role model. And
Yeah.
I would never ever want to be someone who a child would look up to and go through what I went through. I want to be that difference, and know that if this is making me confident, what is it going to do for other people? Because it's took me so long to get to where I am now, that there is literally hope for anyone.
Oh, I think this is fabulous. And do you know what? Since we sort of met, we met sort of at the beginning in lockdown, didn't we? Because
Yeah.
you did a cup of tea thing, didn't you, or something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah, yeah. And even since then, from meeting you virtually and then obviously meeting you in person, I can even see how much confidence you've got,
Thank
and
you.
you're just a glowing. It's amazing, and I'm
Thank
just
you.
so. Oh, I think it's wonderful. So, you do a little bit of local charity work. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So I like to help out as much as possible in my village, and I like to get the awareness out there. So if there is anything happening, I think a big thing about, again, being, I'm Mrs Nottinghamshire. So if I'm Mrs Nottinghamshire, what am I doing for Nottinghamshire? And that's how I see my title, I guess. And I try and get involved with as much as I possibly can. So my weekends are always chocker. I like to be doing something. So last Sunday I was in Morrison's, and I was there with my little bucket in my sash collecting money for Click Sergeant, which is a teenage cancer help charity. And tomorrow night I am in Sheffield, and I'll be at the Hillsborough Football Stadium helping with a charity runway. It's called Runway Idol. Tickets are still available if anyone's local to Sheffield, and that's to raise money for a sepsis charity, which is something, again, which is really close to me and close to a lot of people. And then Sunday, the day before I fly on holiday, I'm getting up at 7 o'clock to go to Clumber Park, which is in Nottinghamshire, to go and volunteer for the Race for Life. So I was going to run it, but I thought, this is a charity organisation, therefore people don't get paid for this work, so why don't I actually go and be the help, be the one cheering on the sidelines for a change and high-fiving people and handing them the bottles of water. So I like to make sure that COVID was a bit of a nightmare because I couldn't get out there, but now I'm in a place where I have my local paper reaching out to me. I have BBC Radio reaching out to me, asking me to go on and speak about eating disorder awareness and what it's like being me in lockdown. And I just want to be the best version of myself, and by being that, show everyone that it's not just a little village. There's more heart than what we look to have.
Yeah. Oh, you're absolutely incredible. And you're definitely a busy bee at the moment, aren't you? So at least you can chill on your holiday. Are you going away for a long time?
Monday to Friday. So on Monday, yeah.
Nice little break, the calm before the storm. Then you can be zooming around. But it's certainly brilliant to look after your local community without a doubt. And it's incredible. I mean, honestly, I cannot wait to see you rock this stage at Galaxy. You are going to be incredible. I know we had a little chat about it last week, and you're just going to be amazing.
Thank you.
I get to spend the day with you, so I'm happy.
I know.
It's going to be fab. Well, you're staying for the whole thing, aren't you? So yeah, we're just all going to have a good old pageant weekend
again,
and then the pageant come down for the week after and go and cry. She's like, I just want to be back in pageant now. So yeah, it's all good. But I cannot thank you enough for coming on tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. So so we will. Well, I wish you all the best in your journey in 9 weeks' time. I just can't believe it's that close, to be honest. So let me just have a look. Is there anywhere that anyone is the best address to find you on the Instagram that we've got scrolling across the bottom for all your? Is there any other social media? Is that the best place, the Mrs Nottinghamshire Galaxy? So that's the Instagram. Lovely. Okay.
Thank you.
That's fabulous. Thank you again. So next week on Queen's Table, we have got another Galaxy girl. We've got the very beautiful Mrs Nottingham Galaxy, Helen Atkin. I cannot wait to speak to her. It's going to be fabulous. Lots of Galaxy girls coming in now the next few weeks because the final is coming up. So the other thing is if you are interested in the Pageantland, please join our newsletter. You'll be first to hear opportunities and stay up to date with everything in the UK pageant community. So that's www.pageantlandonline/newsletter. The other thing, if you want to get involved, is Contestants Finest Queens. If you'd like to be featured on the blog, again, just go to www.pageantland.online blog. So that's it for this week, and I can't believe it's another week gone, and we wish you all the best at the final, and I will see you in a few weeks.
Thank you so much for having me, Dion.
It's lovely to see you. Bye-bye.